Aloha, what up, and welcome back to the We Random Podcast, the podcast where my husband and I discuss a random array of hot topics from a plethora of categories. I am your host, Savannah, and with me always is my delectable co-host.
I like that. It's your boy Mike, IzzoOnTheBeat. Let's get it.
All right, so as much as we didn't really want to have to go over this again, the internet and August Alsina won't let this topic die. The new Entanglement song has been dropped and released featuring Rick Ross.
Oh, as soon as I heard though, I was like, oh man, it's about to get serious, yo.
I cannot with this song. First of all, if you're Will, what are you doing? Are you listening? Are you not listening?
Yo, this morning when we were talking about it, you know that comment that we looked at this morning, it's like what Will was doing. He thinking about a diss record called Entanglements.
Right.
Yeah, he ready to get back right now. If I was Will, I'd be like, look, man, I gotta find somebody to hop on this record.
I would call Drake. I would get on the line with Drake. I would put my rap retirement on the back burner. Come back to it.
He gonna have to find somebody, man.
Yeah,
I don't even know if Drake can save him right now.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
He can't call Wayne because there's too much there with the New Orleans thing. I don't think Wayne would do it just because the whole New Orleans and August.
It's a little bit too deep for the light-skinned brothers. This is deep. I don't know if Drake can help him, like, for real. I don't think he can do nothing
I'm pretty sure he could. I am absolutely certain.
You need a bully. He need a bully on the song. You need somebody that's a bully. Like I don't want to say 50, but he needs somebody that's he needs somebody that's a little more tougher than Drake. But,
so would you listen to it if you were Will?
If I listen to the song?
Yeah.
I don't think he got a choice, man. I think he gonna hear it.
No, you definitely have a choice. I mean, you can just be like, I'm so done, I'm so over it.
Yeah, I mean, he might not go out of his way to listen to it, but he gonna hear it, man. I mean, come on, man.
Some of these lyrics. Let me just read you some of these lyrics, okay? Because there were some that almost got people, well, I won't say people, but got me wondering whether he's talking about what happened or if this is something that is still happening. Because he says, I'm on my way. I'm going to pull up when he dip. He always thinks me and you fucking. If he sees me, he's going to trip. House with no key. Let's see. Further down, he actually says, he's got the key to the crib and to your car.
What?
Yes.
That was in the song?
That was in there.
He said he got the keys to who car?
I'm assuming their car.
Oh, man,
one of their cars.
He is tripping. He got the key.
So Jada was tripping. She had to give him the key.
Yeah, Jada all the way out of line, man.
Man.
Bro got the keys to the car, to the whip. To the house.
No, yeah, and the whip. That's what he says in the song.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all,
I mean, if it weren't for the song, I was already over the Jada and Will situation, but that song, man.
August is being a little bit messy, but he also has to cash in on this because you know they did with the Red Table
They got
Talk.
their money off of that. They got like 12 million people to watch the show and X amount of time, so they getting paid. So he like, hey, I got to make some money too, so I'm going to capitalize on my end. But his, I think, is just gonna last longer because that's a record that can be played over and over and over. So, I mean, they can still show the show over and over, but
immortal right there.
Yeah, he winning right now. Right now, he's in the driver's seat. He was sitting in the back seat, but matter of fact, he was in the trunk. He wasn't even in the back seat. He was in the trunk, locked up, shackled up. Now he is in the driver's seat right now. So, hey man,
there was a lot in that song. I mean, lyrically wise, I mean, if I was Will and I heard it, I would be furious. I mean, with Jada. I'd be like, yo.
Yeah, man. Same way,
you know. He is being, he wasn't being disrespectful before, but now I think it's kind of overdoing it, sir. I mean, you are letting it rip And maybe he felt disrespected by her calling it an entanglement. But
yeah, I think it was aimed at.
When is it gonna end?
I think it was aimed at her more than Will, but Will just looked bad in the situation because he took her back, or they decided to work on their marriage. So now it just looked like Will is a sucker, unfortunately. But I mean, I done already made my peace. You know how I feel about Will? That's my man. I done made my peace already. I pray for the brother. Hopefully everything works out, but I'm gonna tell you, mark my words, don't be surprised if they officially split. No. If they officially split up and they might go for a divorce, man, I wouldn't be surprised.
I was joking earlier with one of my homegirls, and I was like, yo, you know, there's rumors around him being gay or maybe he's bisexual, but I'm like, look, at this point, he is calling every side piece he's got. Bringing them to the crib, and
hey man, I'm telling you,
he's taking one of them pills, hoping that it's gonna last for 4 hours.
Hey man, at this rate, I'm expecting sex tapes to drop,
something,
all kind of stuff about to drop.
Yeah,
you know?
This can either end up being really, really petty, or you know, for them, I think their image is so huge that they're probably gonna end up just ignoring it. Overall, I don't think they're gonna address it. If they address it, that's gonna be wild. I don't think they're gonna address it.
But real talk though, Entanglements would be hard. if there was a record to come back,
man, if he put Entanglements to the getting jiggy with it beat, Entanglements.
Yeah. Yo, put Ike Turner, the little picture of Ike Turner. Oh man, yo. But anyway, man, so what else is up? What else we got? What's next?
Other than that, sir, what else I had on the agenda was something kind of minute, just a little bit out there. Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, I heard she got shot
by Tory Lanez.
Was it official she got shot by him, or is that just speculation? Cause she ain't. I heard she ain't really talking to the laws like that.
Let me break this down for you.
Snitching.
And our listeners. So Megan Thee Stallion is a woman, despite her name referencing a male horse.
Mm-hmm.
She was allegedly shot by Tory Lanez, who's a Canadian rapper, who's a man, despite having a woman's name, Tory.
And size, because this brother is like 5 foot.
He's 5'3".
5 foot, yeah.
He's 5'3". I believe they said 110 pounds in the police report. Our daughter is basically that, and she's 11. So can you imagine her squaring up with him? Which was the memes all over the place.
Oh, man.
But basically what happened was LAPD, I guess, arrived at the scene, and it was in the vehicle. So there is TMZ released footage of what was happening. And at the site, Megan Thee Stallion didn't say that he shot her. It was like an accident, an accidental discharge. So regardless, Tory Lanez got arrested, and he faces up to 3 years in jail on gun charges.
Yeah, he probably ain't gonna do nothing, or he might get some probation time. What was that at? It was in what was it at?
LA.
Oh yeah, he's straight.
Well, LAP interviewed her at the scene of the crime, and she didn't say it was a crime or anything, but then she did come back on Twitter, you know, after all the jokes and everything was airing, and she tweeted, "Black women are so unprotected, and we hold so many things in to protect the feelings of others without considering our own." She also stated, "It might be funny to y'all on the internet and just another messy topic for you to talk about, but this is my real life, and I'm real life hurt and traumatized."
All right.
And she did say that a crime was committed against her.
I ain't trying to hate on Megan Thee Stallion. Definitely ain't hating on black women across the world. My mother's black, daughter's black.
Yep.
So, look, what I got to say about this is, she put herself in the environment to put herself in situations like this to a certain extent. She don't deserve to get shot. I don't think nobody deserves to get shot. But you got to think, man, the last year or so, all I've been seeing Megan Thee Stallion do is turning up with different dudes. She been with the white boy G-Eazy. Then she was with Tory Lanez. Then she with somebody, I forgot this other dude. She popping up in all kind of videos, twerking, basically saying this is what I'm about to a certain extent. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's just all about attention, but yeah, man. I mean, her lyrics are certain ways, so she might have put herself in positions I think that she maybe didn't think was gonna happen when she said this is my real life. It's like, look, man, you kind of do some questionable stuff, but it don't, not to say that it was right by her getting shot. No, by no means, nobody deserved to get shot like that. But you know, I don't know.
She might not even know or knew he had a gun. Couldn't have. It doesn't warrant anybody being shot. Don't know what happened in the car because nobody's really saying anything.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know the whole story. We don't know what happened with Tory Lanez.
I don't even know if she's linked to him romantically. I tried finding it, but I guess that's the speculation that's coming out now is, were they in a relationship? Are they seeing each other, dating each other, just smashing?
I'll tell you right now, man, they got into a scrap. Hey.
Yo, he could have been fighting for his life because he's very tiny.
I see why he pulled out a strap.
She got at least 100 on him.
Right. Yeah. Stallion for sure.
There was two of them in the car too. So I mean, one of them could have been holding him down, and that might have been his only option to get out.
Yeah.
But it, you know.
Yeah, who knows, man? His life could have been threatened to a certain extent, but apparently she ain't cooperating on that level, like snitching on him, saying that he did this and that.
Not initially, but now that's what she's saying. So
she's saying that he did it now?
Oh yeah, she's saying he committed a crime against her.
Oh, dang. Oh, okay.
At the scene, she didn't say anything. That's what her point was, you know, is that black women are so unprotected and that they do things to protect other people without considering how they're going to feel about the whole thing, about anything that happens towards them.
I agree. I do agree on a certain level about that to a certain extent, about kind of trying to protect others and not necessarily getting the same level of protection. But it can go both ways. That's one of those touchy topics right there. But in their situation, they're entertainers. These cats are celebrities. It ain't the same.
They party.
It ain't the same, man. You party in the clubs all the time. You get paid to party. All kind of stuff. So that's the image you portray. So some people don't feel sorry for you, man, because it's like, yo, you always in the club, you always twerking, you all up on this dude, you at this party with this dude, that person, this. Hey, man, they don't know what's the real you. Are you just entertaining or just how you really are? So when you say this is my real life,
it's a
like
lifestyle, though, right, that you live. We had that conversation, too, you know, a few days ago about how people live that lifestyle. That's what they want. They want the fame, the glitz, the glamour. So they get involved in those environments because that's what they want. You don't try to become a rapper or an actor without knowing that you're going to get to a level of fame or notoriety. I mean, that's what you're striving for, right? You want to be Beyonce. You want to be Brad Pitt, Will Smith.
Especially for the youngsters, people that's just trying to get started. That's really what you're looking at. You're looking at the glitz, the glam.
But there's all the extras that come with it. Yeah, and, you know, the people handing you drugs and free liquor and, you know, whatever else. Just to be in your graces or to use you to get that themselves because you have access to it. So you partake. Don't know if they do drugs. Don't know if they were drinking that night.
I mean, this is, we speculating on a lot of some of this stuff, but just based on what we see.
It's a crazy situation to happen to think that drugs or alcohol and or both weren't involved.
At least alcohol.
You pulling a gun out on somebody, I mean,
you probably
that's
tripping.
Serious.
Yeah, you probably tripping a little bit.
That is serious.
You thinking, you thinking you invincible, and you know, might have been liquid courage.
You were not in the video game, sir.
Yeah.
She got shot in her foot, by the way, or I'm not sure if she was shot in her foot because the LAPD said her injuries were consistent with the broken or shattered glass that was at the scene. So potentially maybe he shot like past her and like the glass and everything hit her foot. Yeah, I don't really know what her injuries are, what it was caused from, but that's what the LAPD said.
Well, look, man, shout out
I will say, in regards to what she was saying, though, is that I don't think you should let your loyalty keep you in situations that your common sense should be taking you out of. I think that's a lot. And
it goes back to being in that industry. You know, it's also a certain loyalty. No, I'm saying, but when you're in a tight-knit group of people, it's also a certain level of loyalty you have to show to these people because these are people that you potentially can make money with and work with. And when you start to do something and go against the grain with a group or a clique of people, I mean, that's almost like, and it is similar to everyday life, but you got to think about their status. But you know, just like having
a couple standpoint, like a domestic abuse type situation, because that can go down for that too. You shouldn't allow your loyalty to somebody, you know what I'm saying, to keep you in a situation that you know is dangerous. Like, you know, first of all, I shouldn't be getting hit or treated like this. And your common sense tells you that it's wrong.
Right.
So you should be getting out of that situation instead of allowing your loyalty and or love to keep you there.
That's facts. I agree. Yep. That's a good point, babe. Yeah, man. Well, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion, man. Hopefully she heals up. And I know she's going to be back to twerking here soon.
Yeah, so they said she'd have a full recovery, so that is not going to be impacted.
When she get her foot back right, she's going to be right back to twerking, so.
No, maybe she'll be keeping it low.
No. I mark my words. She's going to be twerking real soon.
Well, we'll be watching for more.
Let everybody know she good.
Yeah, we'll see how that story develops. But on to bigger and better discussions. Mm-hmm. So, piggybacking off of that, let's talk about how our marriage works for a little bit, since we kind of broached, you know, the couples thing with Megan and Tory and Will and Jada.
Yeah, man.
You know, even though we didn't want to have to go back over that.
Yeah, we had to, though. Strangeness. All right, good.
So, why do you feel our marriage works so well?
Well, just straight up, or in comparison to
well, we do things, I guess, what people would consider old school. So maybe. Okay,
so I think for us, what works really well. Look, and this is how I feel. Like, I feel that, and we talked about this numerous times. I feel like as a man and as a husband, my position is to keep the peace and to provide. That is mainly. The Rona? Huh? No, I just had something in my throat. You got jokes, man. If I got it, you got it.
I'll get your mask.
Yeah, get your mask. But anyway, look at you over there drinking.
Got some ginseng in this. Okay. You need something?
Nah, I'm good. But nah, so
to keep the peace.
Yeah, to keep the peace and to provide. And I do feel, and this is not saying that this is the only role, but I do feel a very strong role that a wife, I feel, in a marriage should show is the nurturing side, or more so like raising the kids and teaching the kids. When I say how to raise nations, it's basically meaning like how to raise children, showing a daughter how she should treat her potential mate, keep the house clean, doing certain things like that, also teaching the son. And this is the thing that's different. A lot of people feel like you can't teach a woman can't teach a man or a boy how to be a man. And there are some truths in that, but there are a lot of things that a man can't teach a boy to do when it comes to a woman. And so as a mother, it's extremely important that the mother can teach her son how to, basically just, how you should treat a woman. He's able to see a dynamic within a family. So a boy can grow up and see, okay, this is how my dad treats my mom. This is how things should be. And this is how things could work out. So for us, I just think that's what makes it work good for us, is that I provide. It takes off the extra work from you having to worry about that. And you take off all the pressure from me when it comes to the daily task in the house, and i.e. with the kids, those things like that. I am hands-on with the children, but I can also be hands-on and do other things that can help the family and stuff like that. And just to kind of show how this dynamic works, right now, you're not nurturing the kids right now. What are we doing right now? We're literally sitting here working on a podcast, and we're doing something independent.
Oh, Lord, I thought you was taking a shot. I would be excuse me.
No. This is for our listeners, but This is what I'm saying. Like,
oh yeah, you don't have to be. That's
it doesn't
not the
mean
role. That's not the only role I play.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that that's it. Like, I'm just saying that's all you're capable of doing. By no means. There is a balance. I think realistically, for real, for me, I believe that any woman, not I'm gonna say any woman. I can say I feel that a lot of women. I'll say a lot. Okay, I won't say all. I feel that a lot of women that play a masculine role, and when I mean a masculine role, and this is probably where the sexist thing might get a little weird. I do feel, me personally now, y'all, don't get mad at me.
You gonna get mad, bro.
I do feel, this is gonna touch people's souls right here. I feel that from a masculine standpoint, there are some women that play roles that are like what I just said. They're the peacekeepers and they're the providers. And then their mate, which is a man, is now the nurturer and he is, teaching the children how to grow up and all that. There are balances, and I think what happens is, as a woman, you naturally want a mate that is going to take those roles. So a woman naturally wants to play a nurturing, loving, and peaceful role, and a man is normally wanting to be the dominant. He's always going, and that's why you're always going to butt heads with a man or a woman that's playing the opposite roles.
Okay, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Just so I can, I guess, further elaborate on what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, in society right now, overall, it's not necessarily possible everywhere for women just to stay home, take care of the home, take care of the kids.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people have to go out and work. Both husband and wife need to work.
Yeah.
So both husband and wife need to chip in to pay the bills and get everything done.
Yep.
Where it often gets difficult, I feel, is when you have children now. Mm-hmm. A lot of the majority of taking care of the kids falls onto the mom because that is her role. Right. And it is very natural. Mm-hmm. But I can't fault all men for it. Like, we can get frustrated as moms, working mothers, who come home and now have to take care of the kids, straighten up the house, cook dinner. Right. And, I don't necessarily know what all husbands and fathers are doing, but sometimes they're not doing much other than either trying to help wrangle the kids or trying to de-stress from their day. Right. So moms are out here doing the same thing, and I think that's where the butting heads happens too, because as a woman who worked and contributed to paying bills, I felt like I had a say in the house and how things were done, and you never took that away from me. Right. We had conversations, and you always respected where I was coming from, and I gave you equal amounts of respect. Right. Despite how much more I felt like I was doing, and you acknowledged I was doing, it was just like, well, the house is your domain, so what you want to do is mostly what we'll do, but we have to keep it within reason. What I can do because I want to do these things for you. Yeah. So from how we operate, I feel like it would go a lot smoother if women were a little more submissive, which I'm probably going to get flack for that. But overall, it's difficult when you have two people trying to be too dominant, two alpha males in the house, or two alpha male mentalities
and that's the point,
in the house.
That's the point.
It's difficult to work with.
That's the point. I mean,
somebody has to sit back and say, okay. But then when you make a man have to do that, he feels like less than a man, because naturally,
I'm gonna give you
testosterone.
I'm gonna give you an example, and I might be talking to somebody that's listening. Okay, so this is one example. You might have a dude, like, say, the woman is taking care of everything. She's paying the bills, she's doing all this, but you got a guy, he might not be, working or whatnot, but he does things around the house. He tries to help out when he can. Now, you'll notice with that guy, he's going to want to do small things. And those small things he's going to want to do just to feel dominant. So it might be, something that you guys do in the bed, maybe intimate. Or it might be him wanting to take out the trash and he wanted to do this and I want to do this and I want to do that. And those things is so he can feel dominant, because even though he's not in the financial role, he's doing things, he wants to still play the role. He wants to be in that role. And when the button happens, from a woman's perspective, you may not understand that he wants to play that naturally, and you naturally, even though I just think it's a subconscious thing. Even though the woman, are independent and they're working and they have jobs, I honestly think deep down inside, if a man came the next day and that brother was like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna take care of this for you, this for you, this for you. I'm gonna take care of you. You gotta worry about another thing."
Financial stability.
Outside of trusting this man, I'm just saying, just somebody that's willing to do that. If you trust that person and you wanted to be with that person, I guarantee you would be willing to play that role, because I believe for a woman that's a natural role. Now, I'm not saying you're not gonna have your side hustle, so just in case something go foul, that right. you got something
or your job
as a backup.
Right.
But I'm saying, I think it's just a natural role, and that's where the imbalances are happening. I think that's part of the reason why marriages are out of sync, because there's with all the working that's happening and all the women having to go to work and the men having to go to work, and that's not due to them, that's just due to society, what's happening with the economy and all this other stuff, where you have no choice but to work. Both have to work, because it's just difficult nowadays for just one person to hold up the household. You got to make some good decisions, and you may have to not even live the lifestyle you want initially to get to that point. And so I just think, man, for us, that's been great. You talked about going back to work, and I said, well, look, you want to go back to work, let's just wait till our youngest, which is, he's 2.5, let's wait for him to get to the school days. Yeah. And I'm all for it. Because I'm feeling like, okay, well, a lot of those things have been done. He's gotten a better understanding about, what he should be doing. You've been doing great as a mom, and the house is taken care of. And then it's easier for us to move around, knowing that he's going to be going to school if that ever happens again because of the coronavirus.
With the Rona.
So, I mean, trying to shorten it up, I think that for us, that's just one thing that makes it great. And on top of that, our communication and the friendship, that's like probably the most important one out of them all. Is you need to be friends thoroughly with your partner. I mean, like I'm saying, work on that first. Like how we even got together and met and all that. It was all friendship. We laughed the same way we laugh now we did when we first met. So that's just what it is. You got to be able to build that friendship first, and then get to know each other. All this 90-day fiance, all this people going across the. Look, I'm saying, I mean, all that stuff is crazy. It's not saying don't be romantic. Don't be, romantic and
some of those
don't be
relationships
hopeful.
Work out though. I mean, there's some of them still going. But there are those, and I know a few people in my life who say that they can't have their partner as their best friend. They don't want their partner to be their best friend. They want their partner to play that role specifically. So I think, that might not be the same for everybody.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody don't have the same.
I think communication is a big thing for us. We like to talk.
Yeah, that works. That works for us.
To each other, and we're very honest. But we're also very vulnerable with one another.
That's the thing. That's the big part too, yeah.
But that's trust, and that's been earned and built up and
you gotta be
never really broken.
Yeah, that vulnerability is crucial.
After having gone through, bad breakups and being scorned by other people, that's hard to work on. But we had a solid foundation of friendship, which got us here. Right. So, I mean, we couldn't get enough of just chilling, talking, laughing.
Yeah. That's a lot of times, and even to this day, we'll actually just sit around and we'll talk for like an hour or two.
Hello, look
3
at what
hours.
we're doing now.
Well, yeah, we're doing this right now, but I mean, but I mean, I think that's a couple of the things that makes our relationship work, and so I don't know how everybody else will take it, but
so you feel, just to round it, you feel we do so well because we play old school roles where you're the provider, breadwinner, not the only one all the time.
Right.
But you also are the peacemaker.
Yep, keep the peace. Kids start getting crazy, start tripping, and start acting up. All right, here I come.
When it starts getting overwhelming for mom,
things get overwhelming. I step in, and at the same time, I am still hands-on and active. It's not like I just completely wait for stuff to get crazy.
But also in disagreements, though, like when we're butting heads and our communication is off, and I'm not understanding what you're saying. Keeping the peace that way also.
All types of ways, not just with the kids, but just in our relationship. Yeah. That's really what I feel is a strong, important part of, not going to bed upset and angry, like trying to shut that down, before going to bed if there's a disagreement. So there's different things, but definitely.
And we have a strong foundation of friendship. That basically got us here also.
Yeah. Yep.
So you do, the breadwinner, all the strongman stuff, fixing everything around the house, plumbing, all that good stuff.
Oh, Now, I'm going to tell you right now, look, that's overrated now. All that stuff is overrated. Boy, I'm telling you.
Get under that sink.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So how is our relationship different, do you feel, from your previous relationships? Like, did you feel like you always had a friendship?
I tried to. The friendship thing was important. I felt like I couldn't. I've only had a few, like, serious relationships.
Yeah, two.
So.
Not including me.
Yeah. So that the friendship part had to be real. Had to be key in that. So. But different wise, Do you think
it's the submissive part of it, me allowing you to play a role and knowing when to pull back instead of trying to assert myself and my power?
I think it's, I would say, you definitely have, a different level of patience, different touch. I mean, just overall, it's more of a gentle touch and approach. I mean, now you get ratchet too now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you get ratchet.
All right, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing, sir.
I gotta keep it real.
That's what we're doing.
No, because it's a backstory. Backstory is...
Anybody who knows me knows how I can get down. So to hear that I am actually submissive to you, people are gonna go ham on me for that because they already know.
I hope they do.
But it's a respect thing. I feel like that is exactly what it boils down to is, I am submissive to you out of respect and love.
Right.
And you are submissive to me sometimes, out of respect and love. So it's a mutual respect and love that we give, take. So I feel like women don't always have to be submissive.
Let's clarify that.
But we should always be respectful.
No, I'm saying I ain't submissive in the bedroom. Let's clarify the submissive part.
All right.
It's just within.
Yeah, okay.
All right. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So, anyways.
Right.
Yes, don't start. Don't you start. Don't try to be funny, man.
You tried. Okay. We gonna keep it real now, y'all.
Don't you do it. All right, so.
Well, all right.
Oh yeah, different. Yeah, what you were saying from other relationships. Yeah, the
submissive part of it.
That's the submissive part and communication part, and I think the vulnerability part. Being vulnerable, completely vulnerable, being open. I wasn't that way, so being that way with you is different. And then you being that way with me was different. So, just those things, outside of course you being my wife and all that. I'm just saying, just things that I can just pinpoint right off the bat as far as like how our relationship is handled. Those are the things that stick out for sure.
And you never cheated on me.
I mean, obviously.
Duh, I'm just saying, adding that in there.
Yeah. That's obvious. But.
So that goes to show that whole mentality that everybody cheats or you're going to get cheated on at some point in time.
Yeah.
You could be a lucky one that you don't get cheated on, but I think that the chances of that is very, very slim.
Hey, I'll let y'all know real quick, before we got together, I went on a period of celibacy. So
yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, so that was because I was like, look, when I meet the woman that I'm supposed to be with, it's gonna be thorough, it's gonna be right, she gonna be with me for the right reasons, and that's another reason why you stick out, or you stood out at the time, because you were completely different. Like when I was going through that process, nobody was respecting that. Nobody was respecting it. I'm talking about like, oh yeah, whatever. You'll still do it.
I was the friend that was telling you, look, stop putting yourself in those stupid ass situations.
Yeah.
Hanging out late with these girls, they see it as a challenge. Oh, you celibate, huh?
Yeah, so that's what.
Or
if
he sleeps with me, then I'm wifey.
That's what it was. It was like a challenge thing, and you respected it 100%. And that's how we got there.
I used to be hot at you, boy. Like, you did it again, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We got some stories, and that's gonna come. That's gonna come, man. Y'all gonna get to know us. Gonna get to know me and wifey even more. We're gonna be having a whole bunch of stories about a lot of random things, especially about how we came together. Stuff just be popping up as we talk. But yeah. What about you though? Since we talking about me.
Well, first of all, the way that we're different is because you actually act like a man, and you're not out here being like a regular boy that wants to be taken care of.
Did I do I do that? Oh man, claps.
Yes, applause.
Yeah, it's all right.
Applause, sir. Most definitely, but you respect me on a whole different level. You've never once called me out my name.
What?
Never once called me out my name. And my mom always told me, watch how a man treats his mother. If he treats her well, he's going to treat his wife well.
Because my mama, she get busy.
You still call mom, you check on mom. You know what I mean? You send mom gifts. You do things for mom, and that's out of love. You want to make sure she's okay. Like, if she hits you up, you always answer your phone unless, you in the shower. Yeah, but you always call back whenever you see, like, everything okay? Like, you are on high alert when it comes to mom.
She gonna let me know, though, if I don't call after a couple of days. Your mama back here at home, and you ain't even, hey, what you doing, son? You ain't even calling.
That has happened, once or twice in the entire time that we've been together. It hasn't happened much.
It ain't happened that much. Just
but yeah, times. I mean, this relationship is different. It's very much more grown. There's a whole lot more trust. You never cheated on me in my other relationships. That's happened. Oh. But also, you taught me a lot, and you uphold a lot of the values that I wrote down. Girls, ladies, women, everybody, mamas, friends. I made a list. I made a list of everything I wanted in a man, and I wrote it down. And then I made a list of everything I didn't want in a man. And you had none of the attributes that I didn't want. But you had probably 8 out of 10 of the attributes I did want. You didn't.
What's the other one? I ain't 6 foot.
You ain't 5'11".
See? See?
You didn't hit the height requirement.
Hey, look here.
But you're pretty close. You're 5'11".
The doctor said...
No, the doctor did not
my bad. The doctor said I was 5'11", but the lady that checked me in said I was 6 foot.
She said, I'll tell you whatever size you want to be.
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah, she was hitting on you. Anyway, the doctor was 6 foot, stood next to you and said, you're not 6 feet. So, that's the end of that.
Yeah, man. I had like a little slouch with my posture. That's
when
all.
You wear your shoes, you're 6 foot, so yeah, you're good.
Posture, right. Scoliosis.
Yeah, that was basically it. The other attribute I can't even remember at this point. Maybe it was just, your head was too round. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't want somebody with a super round head.
You blame my daddy for that one.
No, but yeah, you treated me by far way differently, and maybe that's a Virgo thing. I don't know. But
man, Virgo's been getting a lot of hate, man. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about Virgos and how we be perfectionists.
I will go to bat for any Virgo man. I don't know very many Virgo women.
Yeah.
At least not off the rip. But for the men, if you're a Cancer woman, go find you a Virgo. But don't get a damaged Virgo.
Yeah.
I think there is a...
That's facts, man.
It's hard not to find somebody who is damaged, but when you have somebody who can at least acknowledge it and they're working towards making themselves better, that is great. But you are also very, very funny, sir.
Yeah, I tried,
my first serious relationship, my first marriage, dude wasn't so funny. So, anywho,
right.
I kind of want to slide into another topic.
Right. Let's do it. Think what you got.
Somewhat related, but how cheating is being normalized. Like, it really is starting to bother me because...
Oh, my bad. I don't want to forget it. Stamp that. Did you hear about Kanye?
Kanye what?
Did you see what Kanye was doing today? He had a rally in South Carolina.
Yeah, when he was talking lies about Harriet Tubman.
Well, no, I don't know about if they're all lies because there's some things that have been said over the years about that situation. But what I am going to say that I thought was crazy, this brother was crying during his rally. He started tearing up and crying like, look, man.
Seek help.
First of all, as a creative person, I can respect Kanye. I used to rock Kanye's albums, his Graduation, Late Registration, College Dropout. All those albums are like gold to me. Those are, some of the best.
The old Kanye
some of the best music ever.
I want the old Kanye back.
But Kanye now, Walt Disney, he calls himself sometimes. Yo, he literally is like...
Rich people do some weird shit.
It ain't even just rich people, man. I think with him, it's just his influence. So I think when a person has a certain level that they feel they have influence-wise, that whatever comes out their mouth is just golden. And it's like, yo,
What do you think that's from a lot of people just being around and being yes men? Like, yeah, do it looks good.
Absolutely. People say it all the time. It ain't enough real people in your corner. It's too many paid people and yes men in your corner.
It might not even be paid people. It might be people that want to get put on and want to be paid. So
that's what I mean by that.
All your ideas, sir, because I want you to give me money.
That's the same
thing. Or I
want
to stay in your influence and get some of your fame.
Yeah,
that's why it's hard for people with that kind of clout, money.
Yeah, and that's the
around
sad thing about it, man. I think Kanye has no real, true, solid friends around him like that.
His mama gone.
Yeah, and so that's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think the issue. I honestly think him and Kim Kardashian are not happy together. Even though a lot of people will tell me different, like, oh man, they're great, they're fine. I think they're miserable together. I thought that from day one. They keep having kids. I thought it from day one. That don't mean they're not down for having a partnership. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, well, we're a power couple, so we just gonna make this thing work. But I'm not necessarily happy. I don't think they're actually happy together. But regardless of the fact, yeah, man, I don't know. I can't say that she probably she's helped him grow as an artist. What I'm saying, like, as far as his ability to get,
You're such a hoe, and I like it. That song, she helped him make that song.
Oh yeah,
that was a great music video.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to find that costume. I walk around the house in that costume.
Oh yeah. Well, nah, I mean, I don't know, but I just want to say something about that right quick.
About his mental health?
Came on my head. Yeah, man, I feel like my man is struggling. I think he's got some things he needs to deal with.
Remember, he was hospitalized a couple years ago.
Yeah, it don't seem like right now his thoughts are well thought out. You know, especially now. I mean, being a president, unfortunately, Donald Trump has kind of set the stage for a lot of people.
Did Arnold Schwarzenegger do that first?
He's a governor. He wasn't president.
I mean,
Arnold Schwarzenegger was low key though. He wasn't always on in the media and the news like that.
But did he set the tone for making Trump feel that he could?
Nah,
obviously Trump's gonna have to outdo governor. He's gonna president. That's just Trump.
Arnold Schwarzenegger ain't set no stage for nobody to want to have aspirations to be no president. Oh, Donald Trump. I mean, man, that's a last.
Trump was like, yo, if the Schwartz could be a
I'm
gonna
tell you right now, if he thought that,
get to the chopper.
Bro, he tripping. He tripping. If he was thinking that, oh yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger can do it. He can be a governor. I can be. Nah.
Maybe Arnold told him he can do it.
Why you say it like that? Why you say it like that?
I had to.
Look, man. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
Are we gonna swing back to the normalizing cheating thing?
Yeah, we can get back on topic, man. But I had to say something because I saw a little while ago. I was like, yo, come on, Kanye. Hey man, y'all in the everybody in the comments, put something down there. What y'all think about Kanye? How y'all feel Kanye is doing mentally? If he not crazy, he just didn't have his thought process and everything down, organized, correctly. Whatever you think, just drop it in the comments. Let us know what y'all think. Also, what y'all think about the show so far, man? What we could do better? Stuff we could change. This is the second episode, so.
All right, now we'll save that for the end, sir.
Nah, I'm saying,
in the middle of the show.
I don't want to forget it.
I
don't want to forget it, man.
You and your memory, write stuff down.
Man, I ain't got no pen.
Bring some.
All right, maybe next time. Y'all put that in the comments. Maybe I should bring a pen next time.
I got you. I got you next time.
All right, go.
So, do you feel like the media, okay, I'm not going to say we're conspiracy theorists, but I think a lot of people would peg us with that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of research that goes on before we support an idea.
Yeah.
So people who know us know our intellect level. Mm-hmm. So when we say certain things and people be like, oh, a conspiracy theorist, I'd be like, you should know me better than that.
Right.
But do you feel like the media is pushing normalizing cheating to break up households and to make the world a little bit more chaotic? I mean, because they have TV shows, right? Like they do.
Yeah.
They have. We'll just go with the reality shows where they don't give them TV, but they do give them liquor, and then. Like when you get hella bored, you're in a house with a whole bunch of people, young.
Right.
You're in your sexual prime as a man,
right.
And then as girls, you're in your physical prime. I feel like at that age where you don't really have to do anything between your, 18 to 28.
I know what you're saying.
But
yeah,
and then stuff like this with Will and Jada.
I can see where it doesn't help. I can see where the media does have, they're pulling some strings when it comes to certain things, certain topics they rather discuss than others. I don't think that enough, positive side of things is being put out there. It's just like, okay, here's the positive, but we just can't wait till the negative comes so we can, is it Prounce or Pounce?
It's Pounce.
I don't know why I be wanting to say Prounce. But anyway, so that's, So, they be wanting to pounce on that, man. So, I
feel like we should make it very clear that cheating is not normal.
Nah, it's not a normal thing.
That's not normal behavior.
It ain't a normal thing. I think, if you do get involved with cheating, man, it's just first of all, you probably shouldn't have been in a committed relationship because you weren't ready for it.
Or if you respect and genuinely love the person, you probably shouldn't be putting yourself in a situation where you're going to act out of character.
You just ain't ready for no relationship.
Get so inebriated that you can't even control yourself anymore.
You just ain't ready for a relationship. That's just facts. It is what it is. You gotta work on yourself. If you out there doing whatever you gotta do, whatever you doing, either that person that you with, you really ain't down for like that, or you just really weren't ready for a relationship and you gotta work out some things. I mean, I had to go through the process. I know I wasn't the greatest, man. So I know, I already been there. So I already understand. So I would say you're just not really truly ready to be in a committed relationship. If you are, in a relationship, it's got to be something like Will and Jada. It's got to be.
Well, that's another thing.
It's almost open
because what they were playing. Well, what they said was, you have to go through the fire, to get whatever they were saying, but like you have to go through those types of things to come out stronger on the other side, and you don't have to go through those things to come out stronger on the other side.
And the fact that they have been placed in a position where they have been looked at as this wonderful relationship goal that you want to strive for,
they created that.
It makes it sad to see that, because now when they go and they tell you like, oh no, man, you gotta go through all these battles. And then when you get to the end, you're good. But it's like, look, that ain't true.
We watched that whole body language specialist and how they broke it down. Everybody could clearly see that Will was aggravated, and then you could clearly see the pain that was in his eyes as she was talking.
Right.
But what we didn't see that we learned through the body language specialist stuff that we were watching was her lack of remorse.
Yeah.
And how she kept trying to, push the narrative that she didn't do anything wrong because they were separated at the time.
Right.
Which, ma'am, you did, because you guys weren't all the way divorced yet.
Yeah.
Until those papers are signed, you probably shouldn't have. And with August's song coming out, it really does make you look terrible now. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like you don't have to stay with the person. Yeah. I understand it is difficult, but for me, if there's anything that I want people, women or men, to know, is that if you get cheated on, before you go back to that person or before you even commit to staying with that person, you need time to make yourself happy first before you make that decision. Yeah. And that person needs to respect you needing your time to heal from what they did to you. Yeah. Now, if they're going to hit you up with the, I'm not going to wait around for you all day, then it's like, go.
I mean, look, man, you, at this point, you got to be, it's way easier said than done, but I always felt like whatever is supposed to be for you is going to happen, so you just got to keep it moving. And that's just in life in general. When stuff is not going your way, you just got to keep it moving and know that it's going to work itself out. Maybe not how you imagine it initially, but it will still get to the same result, same solution, goal at some way, somehow. So, if you with somebody right now, anybody, if y'all with somebody right now and it's kind of funky, somebody cheating on you, and that person ain't willing to respect you as for who you are and what you bring to the table, then best thing you can do is keep it moving. That's a fact. Just keep it moving.
That is true.
Yep, keep it moving. No matter what stage you are in this relationship, whether y'all been together 10, 15 years, it may seem like that's hard to start over because now you got to go meet people's families again and all that. Yeah, it's different. But maybe you don't need to go right away and get into a relationship. Just take your time to work with you.
You need to heal yourself.
Do your thing. Enjoy yourself.
You need to work through that because there's more so, I think, that's said when you stay with somebody after they've cheated on you. Man. That is you don't value yourself as much as you should, because I was cheated on and I stayed. Yeah. And I can honestly say that I didn't value myself in those relationships as much as I should have. Right. I was being verbally and physically abused in my first marriage.
Right.
So that was a breakdown of my self-esteem that I had to regrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew my worth after that.
Right.
And, you know, unfortunately for me, the second time around, not in a marriage, but in a second serious relationship, I knew my worth, but I allowed his actions to make me feel less than because of the comparisons that was always happening between me and not even regular women, but like superstars, like people who have like Kelly Rowland. I don't have Kelly Rowland legs. Kelly Rowland don't have my ass. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah.
That is definitely a value thing of yourself. So I genuinely want women and men to get to a point where they're happy before they look at the person and say, yes, I want to be with you despite you cheating on me. Right, because then you can see yourself fully and know if that person was good for you. Yeah. So cheating...
Definitely, man. It's a no. That's a no bueno.
It's a no-fly zone.
No bueno, man.
If you are loved, cherished, and respected, and you love, cherish, and respect the other person you're with on the level you say you do, I don't believe cheating is happening. Cheating is something that is intentional.
It ain't even in your...
You put yourself in a situation that was intentionally done to do that.
Yeah, you ain't even gonna go that route, man. That ain't even something in your mind. It's so thorough. Your relationship is so solid to the point where you are absolutely comfortable in all situations, knowing that the person that you with is thoroughly down. That's the biggest thing for Virgos.
Well, and Cancer.
Is to have somebody thoroughly down. They gotta be down, and I mean thorough, man.
And let's wipe that. You know, not all Cancers are overly emotional. Like, I was raised by an Aries. Don't even give me that look.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say a word.
My mom was an Aries. My dad was a Capricorn.
Man.
My brother was a Scorpio. But I've been told by other people and friends that they would never have pegged me as being a Cancer because I don't act like other Cancers. I know there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes in there, but I mean, let's just clear that up. So let's get that off of Cancers, that negative stigma that we're all freaking overly emotional.
So what you saying? You're not? Is what you're saying?
When I get my period, of course.
No, not even when you get your period, because I know we done watched a whole bunch of movies.
You were airing all my dirty laundry.
I'm saying.
Okay. So basically what you're alluding to is, yes, whenever we watch movies and stuff in there, because I am so empathetic, I can feel for that other person when I'm watching a movie. But that's not a mood swing that I'm having. No, I am watching something that is creating an emotion in myself.
I love it. You get what I'm saying? I'm just trying. I just want to make, there go the violence. The domestic. See? All that she talking about, and she already talking about body slamming me. See what I'm saying, folks? Yep. About to pull your mic.
Cops.
About to pull your mic. Go ahead.
All right, man. Let's swing this to a whole different topic now. Do you know what's going on with the NFL?
No. With the Redskins?
No.
What?
They're COVID-19 protocols.
What?
So I guess right now they're in negotiation with the players' union, and all the players now are tweeting that they won't play if the NFL can't protect them and their loved ones by following the recommendations that were given by their health experts now that were hired by the NFL for those specific reasons to do the COVID-19 thing. So they're asking, everybody else to tweet the NFL and show the support because they want to play. Obviously, these guys want to get paid. I know we as fans want to be able to watch, but it's also one of those things where it's like, are we only going to be watching from home? Nobody's going to be in a stadium, and I really wouldn't want to see a lot of people getting sick or worse.
No, I mean nobody wants to. Nobody wants to
because
do that.
It's a contact sport.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that,
and you know there's gonna be some foul stuff. You know there's gonna be those guys who are playing dirty, just go spit on somebody or cough in their face
all that,
when they're in.
Look, right now
they're all entangled on the ground.
Right now, we don't. It really isn't much that can be done in regards to COVID-19, man. It is what it is. Like right now, no matter what, you can do the mask, protect yourself, but
they can't wear masks while they play. I mean, they have their face masks.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, other than putting a full shield over their mask, I don't know how much better they can be protected in the game. Like having a full, they have the visors that they could do, but that's still going to be difficult to breathe and stuff. You would think if the whole mask is restricted like that. But do you think there's going to be a season at all? Because they haven't even necessarily really announced that there is going to be a season.
Well,
they did say, though, that if these players don't show up to the camp, that they're going to be fined.
The preseason is coming up August, and then the season starts in September. So I don't think there's going to be many fans in the stands. There may be some, but it's going to be limited, and there may not be any. I know I watched the UFC fight, and it was like...
That was crazy.
That was retarded. Like, it was nobody...
He was still announcing it like there was a whole crowd of people in there.
Like, he was talking, and it was just dead silence. Like, the announcer was talking...
to add at least the fake applause.
For all my gamers out there, just imagine playing, like, 2K or Madden, and you remove the crowd... Remove the crowd from the game, and all you got is the announcer, and you can hear them in the stands, but there's no people making noise. That's what it sounds like, and that part does not feel fun. I don't even think as a player you would want to go out and play like with nobody in the stands.
No, because playing the game is still fun. Playing the game is fun no matter what, regardless. You think about it as a child. You were having fun playing the game. It didn't matter that there was people watching or not. If anything, fans there might make you nervous. Or, I mean, I know fans can add an extra hype. I know it turns into that, but I'm saying it's still playing. They're
competitive, so they're going to play. But I'm saying as far as like...
Overall, I don't think you need fans to play.
The fans... I mean, playing backyard out here, stuff, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But when you show up all throughout your life, when you play a game, typically outside of you playing with your friends, there's a crowd. So it's not like it's something that's random.
I don't think they're like performers where they crave that and they need that. I feel like it's more the win that they like. Right. I mean, and the fans help with all of that.
That's what I'm saying.
They help, but I don't think they're going to be missed, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't think they're not going to want to play if there's no fans in the stands.
Man, I know that's what in the NBA, that's what they said initially. They didn't want to play. A lot of them didn't want to play with no fans in the stands. It's like, I'm not showing up to play if it's not going to be any fans in the stands. Who am I playing for?
The people at home watching on TV, stupid.
Yeah, obviously, but it's not the same. That's what I'm saying. They're playing for someone. It's not like they're playing for. I'm playing for myself.
Those are the players who need the fans.
Yeah, I'm not playing for myself.
But I don't feel like there's a lot of players out there necessarily that need it. I just want to know what you think they're gonna do if like whole D lines and offensive lines get sick, like they test positive for the virus because they have certain protocols where they have to be on quarantine for 2 weeks. They have to go immediately.
No different than the schools, babe. Same thing with the schools. Right now, some schools
how are they going to play?
Some schools they want to open up.
If they do have the season, what's going to happen when you have like the Eagles out with their whole O-line is out, their whole D-line is out? Like, do they have to forfeit, or like how does it affect everybody's season? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they're thinking it all the way through where it's possible.
No, they're thinking it, but what they're doing is they don't even they're willing to deal with it as
it's almost like for me they're gonna have to. I think they would have to like have everybody plays 1 week, then you have to take 2 weeks off to make sure that nobody is sick. And then you have another game, or everybody else gets to play, and then take 2 weeks off, or practice for those 2 weeks, or take 1 week off.
I don't know
and
how
then practice
deep they
the
got
next
it
week.
set up, but I know that there is no way in the middle of this pandemic that you can go out and really be able to guarantee that these players are not going to get sick. You're not going to get someone else sick. You're not potentially going to put someone's life at risk. That they can potentially
these players
sue
got families too. They got children. They got wives. Russell Wilson, Ciara is pregnant. So who knows who else is pregnant and who else lives with them? They might have their mom or dad.
They losing so much money. They don't care. They're losing so much money.
Yeah,
right now.
Obviously they're prioritizing profits over their people.
They're trying to get people. They're trying to play ball.
I understand.
That's what
I know exactly what the NFL is doing. It's one of those things where, do you really want to support the NFL unless they do right by the players? Or do you not care and just want to have football?
Most people are not going to care. Most people just want something else.
That is very, very sad. I would hope and pray. And I don't even want to think that a lot of people are like that. I want to feel that people are going to tweet the NFL and tell them to protect the players, put in proper protocols, change the season.
They should.
Make the season longer. I don't think we're going to complain if we have to wait 2 weeks for a game, or have these guys staggered where certain teams play this week and then the next team plays next week, and then so you don't have as many games.
We're not even talking about college ball. And college ball is huge. College football is a big thing, but a lot of colleges, they're out. A lot of colleges ain't even...
Well, colleges have tuition and stuff like that to keep them going. What does the NFL have?
What do you mean?
The NFL needs their players to play. They need to sell jerseys. They need to put butts in those seats.
I'm just saying the colleges are... You have colleges now where they're not going back right away. So that tuition isn't going to be there because there's no one going to be enrolled in school. So I'm just saying there's a lot at stake overall. And now that there's the players now can actually make money off of, you know what I mean, their likeness now, it's it's unfortunate. Everybody's being hurt, by the situation. And I just hope they get the numbers right. Because all these people that's going to get tested and not being able to actually fully do it because something comes up, so they go down there and sign up and they're waiting to be seen, and then they gotta leave, and then they get a call an hour later saying that they tested positive but never took the test. And then there's all these nurses that are saying that they're actually able to give positive tests without testing, so they're able to go in and test on some other basis and give out positive tests, and some of it is scare tactics, fear, to keep people from doing certain things, pushing the numbers up. So if you can imagine, just from the numbers that the people that I've heard that it's happened to, and this is just I heard about 10 stories. If you got 10 stories that I've just personally heard, you got to imagine other people that have stories as well. So you got to think about how many thousands of people that would be over the course, or not even over the course, just throughout the country. So if I heard 10, you might have heard 3. This person might have heard 5. You got to think how many thousands of cases that were actually false positives or not even real people.
Already said,
how many people would that be if you add that up over the country?
There was the clip where they straight out asked, how are they counting COVID deaths? So they're saying even if the person died of a car accident, if they have a positive COVID death, they are tracking it under COVID death. So there are no real counts for actual people who are dying by strictly COVID.
And all of that is
or if they had an underlying health issue, like a heart attack killed them.
Yeah.
Or,
Hey, and this is not to say
COVID, MS killed them.
The virus.
If they had COVID, they died by COVID.
The virus is very real. It is not a fake virus.
But it's not causing as many deaths as they say it is.
As far as what I've overheard and, from different people, and then what we've been able to see, actually, man. I mean, especially with
what you were just saying about, you know, they if you die of something that's not even non-related to COVID, if you had it in your system, then
or the antibodies.
Yeah, or the antibodies, then that goes down as a COVID death. I mean, that right there is enough to make the death shoot up like crazy. And we all know that the flu kills, I think last year or whatever.
It was, but when the numbers were coming out initially, the flu killed more people than COVID, but now they're including all types of stuff.
What I'm saying is just the numbers that the flu kills every year is about anywhere between 80 to 100,000 a year. So, I mean, if you all of the crazy deaths that have been marked as COVID, you got to think about how many of those cases are added into these deaths that we're finding. So these numbers are crazy, man. And yeah, all I can say, y'all, wear y'all mask, man.
Yes.
Wear the mask. The mask is literally
don't go out unless you have to
protect others. More so than just yourself, man. So you might have something.
Consideration factor.
Yeah, you might have something and you don't feel it, but somebody next to you might be susceptible to catch it. And hey, man, just wear the mask, short period of time, and be good with that, because it's just show the respect for other people, man. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Well,
what's that? That was it.
I mean, there is another segment that I would like to go over.
What?
How TV has changed me.
Oh, Lord. All right.
So, this is where we share what we are watching or have watched and the jewels that they dropped in our lives. Okay. How it has actually, opened our eyes to something or informed us on something. A couple of weeks ago, we watched 13 Reasons Why. We completely binged it. It's super crazy. It is super good. But it's something that I think we both feel that any parent the age of 30 and up needs to watch. Just for the factor that it's super educational. And we're not going to go in detail on what happens in the show, but it does go over, I feel, what the normal high school experience is now, because we talked to our 17-year-old who's now graduated. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Yay us. Yay him. But the storyline, of course, doesn't fit everything. So there was murder, and I don't think there's murder in every high school, but more along the lines of how cell phones, social media, school shootings, cyberbullying, regular bullying, and like rape cultures, how it impacts our children now. Like, right. I don't think we've always had the understanding that people kind of remain the same and they go through what they go through at certain stages of their life. So we knew, obviously that there's going to be boys who are just trying to get in girls' pants, and then there's going to be rumors that are spread, and, but we didn't understand fully how not being able to get off of their phones and tune out the noise.
Yeah, right.
So I think it's super important for parents or anybody really who's thinking about having kids just to tune in and kind of watch. And if it is painstaking for you to do it, they do have a disclaimer at the beginning where you probably shouldn't watch it if you're feeling suicidal and stuff like that yourself. But there are very important issues in there that are addressed. And you can actually see these adults acting as children go through the emotions and how it impacts them and what it kind of drives them to do. So if you guys are planning on confronting your child after watching it or while you're watching it and they tell you that it is not what happens in school and it's completely fabricated, boy, are they lying to you. Yeah. Even people back home, for me in Hawaii, yes, absolutely that is what's going on back home too, because our son still has ties back home and he's seen some things, heard some things, still talks to his friends. Yeah. And a lot of it is still very prevalent out there. So don't think that you're exempt just because you're off in an island, which we wish we could be.
Man, it's an interesting show. That's not something I would have said. What? Shoot. Back in the day, it'd been something I would want to watch. But, you know, trying to understand, you know, what's going on in high school and middle school. It was a good eye opener. I mean, it's got its parts. It's a little dark in certain parts of it, but actually, majority of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, majority of it is kind of like, you know, it's more of like in a depressive state, and you know, throughout the episode because of what happened in the first season. But it's still a good show, man. It does give you a real good understanding of, you know, kind of how some of the teenagers might think, and
high school culture in general.
The high school culture. It's some of it is still similar to when I was in school to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
But you know, it's just different. You know,
cell phones were just coming out as I was getting out of high school.
It's just so much different.
We had the pagers, and you know, you could still do pager code. Yeah. But you know, the parties and the drinking and Not everybody in Hawaii. You know, most of us rode the bus. Not everybody had cars, but Fosse's limo got us around everywhere. But children, teenagers especially, I don't feel like they really confide a lot in their parents. I mean, we lucked out. We're super honest with our teenager, and he is honest with us. He doesn't always want to talk to us, but eventually, you know, he comes through. We always ask how their day was. That's just something that we've always done. I've always done from the get-go, from kindergarten.
Right.
So, I mean, it is important, I think, not to, even though your kids might push back at that age, just to keep letting them know that you're there and, you know, you love them, you're concerned about them. If they tell you stuff or don't tell you stuff, I don't think getting mad at them is the way to go about it. Yeah. Like, why didn't you tell me? But, I mean, they don't tell you because they also are afraid to tell you. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to upset you. They don't want to let you down or disappoint you.
Exactly.
And sometimes they just don't want you to put a leash on them, yo. They don't want you to restrict them from having all the freedom that they might have currently. Man. And they definitely don't want you in their business like that.
And right there, that's the nurturing side of the mother coming in, and what I'll tell you is on my side, keeping the peace, I'm gonna come out there and be like, look here, I don't care nothing about none of that. You know, but nah, I mean, the balance that we have is good. But you know, being a parent, man, it's definitely not gonna be it's definitely not easy to do. And you do need to pay attention to, you know, things that may be going on in the kids' lives, so you can make sure that you're there and can support them and at least be empathetic with what's going on. But, you know. But yeah, man, I mean, it was a dope show. Definitely helped me understand a lot more about high school. I mean, it was at the end, though. He was already graduating.
I wish we watched it when he told us to watch it. Our son made the recommendation to us when he was sophomore.
Yeah, because it's
and it took us this long to actually put it on. We had to go through a whole quarantine, still in a quarantine.
Right.
To get through this and actually be like, oh, all right, let's go ahead and watch this.
Yeah. We just happened to go ahead and play it, and then we end up binge watching it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, you know, it's a definitely a good show, and if you got kids, definitely, you know, watch it. You know.
Even in middle school, if you have kids who are going into middle school or in middle school, you might want to prep yourself for this, because I don't even know. This could be happening in middle school.
I can't say this.
Some of it could be happening.
Yeah,
in
this whole
school.
situation isn't happening. I wouldn't say that that's the case, but it's, you know, parts of it. Once you watch it, you can say, okay, yeah, I can see that happening, this happening, even down to talking to the counselors and how the counselors may support what you're doing. Some counselors may not be there, may not even be there.
Too many students.
Yeah, too many students, so they may not be able to support the kids, you know, properly. So,
but even the anxiety of being in school for kids now, like, they have a whole different, they actually suffer from anxiety and, you know, mental behavioral issues and stuff like that.
I think that anxiety has a lot to do with the information that they're able to get instantly.
They can't
they're able to get instant
disconnect.
They're able to get instant information. Their phones, they got Google. Your teacher can be up there telling you something you're supposed to be doing. You can go Google it and be like, no, teacher, you're wrong.
I mean, that's probably why they have a no cell phone policy where kids can't bring it out.
Man, you know how many fact check? Well, I would have been fact checking all my teachers, boy. I'm telling you, I would have had my...
Yeah, well, that's probably why they take away cell phones at our son's high school and then charge you $10 to get it back if it is taken away. So you don't bring it out and fact check the teachers.
Yep, I'd have been doing that. But anyways.
Yeah, so we do recommend you take a look at that if you haven't already seen it.
Yeah.
And maybe also go ahead and watch Fatal Affair. Because that boy...
Yeah, man, look.
That entanglement situation with Jada Will and August could have went all kinds of wrong if it was anything like that movie. That movie is Netflix. A good movie, but the ending of it, we had so many questions.
Yeah, the ending was kind of booty, but it was a good movie, man. Yeah, it was real good.
That's just a recommendation. There was no real jewels dropped in that one.
Yeah,
other than the fact that sometimes it don't take much. Sometimes it don't take much for a dude to go ham.
The Jew that was dropped. Yep, exactly. The Jew that was dropped in there. Don't
be a hoe.
Yep, that's it. Don't go out there.
Don't be an almost hoe.
Yeah, almost right.
Yeah, don't put yourself in the compromising situation.
Yep.
Where you could potentially cheat and lead somebody on and cause them to go ham on you.
Don't lead nobody on. Basically, it was almost like an entanglement.
That's what I said. It could have went so many different ways sideways. It was almost
like an entanglement for sure. Boy.
Right. Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the crew?
Man, nope, other than Facebook page is up, so y'all go check that out. I know we got decent amount of likes today, man, so I appreciate, you guys that are listening to the podcast that went and liked the Facebook page.
Showing us some love.
Definitely on this, please like, and if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. And I ain't really got a whole lot of stuff to chop it up on,
No final thoughts? You want to know my final thoughts, sir?
What's your final thoughts?
Jack in the Box chicken strips are better than Chick-fil-A's. Don't at me, fam.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I am dead ass about that too.
Man, nobody think about them chicken strips.
Man, Chick-fil-A's are trash.
Chick-fil-A's trash?
No, Chick-fil-A's chicken strips are trash.
What?
All of their breading falls off all the time. The only thing that's good from them really is their sandwiches.
Here we go.
And their salads.
Look here, you know what?
And their dipping sauces. But the same can be said for Jack in the Box's dipping sauce. So it's not disrespectful.
The disrespect.
All right. With that being said, hit us up and follow WeRandomTv on all platforms. And you can follow me on IG at Savannah808Smiles, and then head over to follow my boo, IzzoOnTheBeat. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our WeRandomTv YouTube channel and hit that bell to get your notifications when we post new content. Mahalo for listening and supporting us. Wishing y'all health, wealth, and blessings. Aloha.
And look here, y'all. We are not ending this on no chicken strips.
Yes, we are.
No,
Good night, sir. I'm done.